Okay, let's get started.
Ghosts are real. That much I know.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. So you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my full review with spoilers of one of the most talked horror films of 2022, Smile. This film came out back in September, but I didn't saw it until February of this year, but I have a very good reason. But before I start, all my reviews are with spoilers. I do not do spoiler-free reviews for films that are already out, so I apologize in advance. But saying the disclaimer, let's get into the video. Smile is a 2022 American psychological supernatural horror film that is written and directed by Parker Finn and is based on his 2020 horror short film Laura Hasn't Slept. Smile stars Sosie Bacon as a therapist that is named Rose Cotter, who, after witnessing the bizarre suicide of a patient, goes through increasingly disturbing and daunting experiences, leading her to believe that what she experienced is supernatural. To give a brief summary, the film is going to follow Rose Cotter. She is a therapist and she has this weird encounter with a new patient that is called Laura. Laura tells to telling Rose that she is seeing an entity that takes the form of smiling people. She witnesses her art history professor committing suicide in front of her just a few days earlier. And Laura does the same thing in front of Rose. This is something that is both featured in the trailer and is the opening sequence. And after Laura commits suicide in front of Rose with a creepy smile, by the way, we have the title card, and this serves as a quick shown of what the film is going to be about. As a consequence of this, Rose starts to have some hallucinations. Everyone around her believes that she is turning dangerous and unhinged. Even her own psychiatrist is telling her that this could be related to the fact of the trauma that she's dealing with her mother's death that she witnesses as a child, and that combined with the fact that she saw someone else committing suicide, that could be a trigger. But of course, she is not convinced. Rose is convinced that it's something supernatural and is somehow correlated to the entity that Laura was talking about before she died. Rose starts to investigate. She finds out information about it. She realized that someone else actually survives. She goes and visits him on prison, but that doesn't go well. And on the process, her life starts to crumble. Her relationship with her sister, her nephew, her partner, and her ex-boyfriend, that is the detective that is in charge of the case, because the suicides, they are all connected. When Rose visits the only person who ever survived this entity, she realizes that this entity is going to take your life, is going to take you, and you're going to kill yourself, but you need a witness. You need to kill yourself in front of someone else, and that someone else will take the curse, and on and on and on. What that person did is that took another person, and he had more than one witness, and he was basically able to trick the entity and get away with it. But of course, he freaks out once Rose starts telling him, because now he believes that the entity can return. But once Rose realizes that she will not be able to do it, she will not be able to kill herself in front of someone in order to continue the curse, she decides to do it alone and kill herself and end it once and for all. Unfortunately for her, her ex-boyfriend is able to track her and she kills herself in front of him. That's how the film ends. Now, this film had a budget of 17 million and it grossed on the box office 270 millions. It was very successful, meaning that a sequel is actually in development. We don't have an official date or year for the release, but yes, a sequel of Smile is coming. Now, this film was praised by the critics and the general public by the cinematography, Bacon's performance, which I think that was fantastic, the visuals, and also the themes, but it was also criticized by the amount of jump scares and the fact that it's very similar to films like The Ring and It Follows. And when you think about it, it is. Now, like I said at the beginning, this film is based on a short film. That short film is actually available on YouTube. I will be leaving the link down below in case that you want to see it. Now, getting into my opinion and my review. The reason why I didn't saw this film back when it came out in September, two reasons. First, I was going on a trip that same day. I was on a plane at 2 in the morning, the same day that the film was coming out, meaning that I had no chance to see it because I was going to the other side of the world. I was going on a trip to Europe for 3 weeks, meaning that I had no way for me to watch this film because I thought the chances of maybe getting into a theater, but I didn't have time. And of course, I didn't have at that moment the privilege and the opportunities of going to press screenings or having an earlier screener. So of course, I didn't get the chance to watch it earlier. And the secondly is that I wasn't that interested. If you saw that video of me talking about the horror films that will be coming on September, I said that I wasn't that interested in this film. And I went on a trip, but of course I wasn't incommunicated, and I started seeing all the people talking about the film. The marketing of the film was insane. They took some of the cast to baseball games and they will stay staring to cameras or to people smiling just the same way on the film. It was very disturbing. But they had so much marketing that of course brought a lot of attention to the film. And once it comes out, the hype was over the roof. People were talking about it, saying that it was the best horror film of 2022, on and on and on. I returned home, but I decided still I didn't want to watch it. Being honest, I wasn't interested in watching it, and I didn't saw it until February of this year because it was available on Amazon Prime Video, because I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to rent it more than what I pay on my subscription. So that's when I decided to see it, and I realized that it didn't matter if I saw it the day that it came out or months later. My interest, it didn't happen. I wasn't interested. I wasn't into the film. I saw it, but I didn't love it. Being completely honest, to this day, I don't understand the overhype, because the film is not bad. I'm going to be very clear. I do not think that the film is bad, but definitely I do agree with the critics. The themes are very good. Susie's Bacon performance, she is very good. I mean, she is the daughter of Kevin Bacon. She has talent, so she did a pretty good job. And we have the cinematography, which I think that is fantastic and really adds to the film. But the problem is the jump scares. You can see them from a mile away. And the biggest issue will be the fact that since this film had so much marketing going around, it happened the same thing as Halloween Kills. That they shown and put on so many stuff and scenes on social media that by the time that you see in it, you already saw the whole film, with all the marketing and all the ads. If you watch the trailer, you're going to realize that you're watching the majority of the film. All the good things, the plot twists, the jump scares, the majority of them are on the trailer, and even if they were on the trailer, they're predictable as hell. And that's honestly sad. Even the beginning, why the hell would you feature the biggest shock of the opening sequence on the trailer? Because by the time that you see it, but I saw that on the trailer. So why? You took away a lot. This is why a lot of studios should learn for what Barbarian did. Barbarian came out around the same time, but in my opinion, Barbarian is better because they did a fantastic job hiding what the film was actually about. And you know it. If you saw the film and saw the trailer, you know that is true. Things that I like about this film: Susie's Bacon performance, cinematography, the themes. I think that the score was pretty good. It was very intense, but unfortunately I disliked it a lot. The jump scares and also the ending. It's hella predictable. The ending, it's plays as a dream sequence. You think that she is able to defeat this entity, that she is fine, she made it, but of course she didn't. This reminds me to the alternative ending of The Descent, that is an early 2000s film. They had the original ending is the protagonist not making it out of the caves. She has an hallucination that she's able to escape, but she's in fact still there. But they changed it because some people thought that the ending was way too intense. So they decided to change it that she actually got out of the caves. But here, I kind of saw it coming, and you could be thinking, but hey, you waited so much that you probably saw spoilers. No, I didn't. I knew that eventually I was going to watch it, and that's why I decided that I didn't want to read or see any videos about this film. I saw the comments of people talking very general about it, but if I saw that maybe a spoiler was coming, leave. I will stop watching or reading. I am very good at skipping and missing spoilers. If I really don't want to know something, I will stay away as much as possible from social media or certain accounts or stuff like that, even when I have a lot of horror content, of course, in my social media. So no, I didn't have an idea of the ending or plot twist on everything, things like that. But that at the end didn't really make that much sense. The trailer alone spoils a lot. So for me, like I said, this film is not bad. I am not saying that it's bad, but I wasn't impressed. Probably the overhype of the majority of people on social media probably affected a little bit my expectations, and something that happens when you watch a film that is so overhyped that when you see it, it's like, this is what really people is talking about, that is so good. But there's nothing that I can really do about it now. So for me, this film will be a 3 out of 5 and a 7 out of 10. I don't think that is bad. I think that is pretty good, but it is not excellent. And someone even asked me, like, why Smile is not on your top 10 of horror movies of 2022. First, I didn't saw it. Secondly, I know for a fact that even if I had saw it last year, it wasn't going to be featured on my top 10. I know that for sure. Because for me, I think it is good. But it's not one of the best horror movies of 2022. Had a lot of good films last year. And in my opinion, this will be top 20 at much, because I will have to recount all my list, but at much a top 20. But I don't think that is a top 10 or a top 5. But that's just my opinion. I don't want anyone to get cranky or something. It's just my opinion. Like I said, it's not bad. I just don't love it. I try to rewatch it just in more of a fun mindset rather than watching it in the mindset of critic. I didn't last more than 30 minutes. I was like, you know what, I'm bored. I don't even want to watch it. So there's just something about it. I wasn't interested, and that interest never really came. I watched it because I'm a horror content creator. I need to watch this stuff. It's my work. The sequel, will I be watching it? Most likely, because like I said, it is my job. Sometimes I have to watch films that I do not want to, but it's my job. But well, I think that this has been all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below what you thought about this film when you saw it. I apologize if you loved this film. I don't want to attack anyone, but I always like to be honest. I will not lie here telling you that this is the greatest film ever if I didn't thought that. I'm always going to be very honest and very transparent with my opinions. But well, I think that this has been all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.
It's real. That much I know.